Riley Dixon has the ball on the tee, ready to get us started. And we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. And it's a pretty good return here as they'll get this up to the 29. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He's any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
Ready.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A good start. One play, 10 yards. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Only 3 plays in here, but really, Charles, a solid start for this offense, and now we'll see if they can continue their mission to end this drive in 6.
And I wonder if their play caller right now is reflecting on that last big play that they've had on this drive. Do you come back with something similar, or do you have a counter to it to kind of show it and go to something else and create another big play?
Second down, here's Mostert again. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. 22 is the line to gain here on third down. Tua sets up to pass it. And this is going to be incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
So fourth down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. Sanders' kick is good, and the opening drive for the Dolphins yields 3. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take for 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. So now here are the Broncos for their first drive of the game. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
Now Wilson on first down. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Now Wilson. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll run it for the first time with Williams. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. Williams going to get it again on second down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13. Not an easy spot here, and they'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. So Miami coming out for their second drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10.
Ready. On the ball.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this one is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Tua. Flush to his right. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a first down. On play action, here's Tua. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. And he completes it to Berrios. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory, down at the 31. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation. They'll try it now with Mostert. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. On 1st down, they go with Mostert again. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. 18 yards for Raheem Mostert as his guys are able to extend their lead. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. That time, a 9-play drive, and it was capped off by a touchdown run for Raheem Mostert. So an early 10-0 lead for him now as they kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he returns this to the 22. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Wilson will throw again. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. On 3rd down, Wilson. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Give the sack to Jerome Baker. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, the next-gen stat's going to show that sack carried out in just 2.5 seconds from beginning to end.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
It's Tagovailoa from his own end zone. And going deep for Hill. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this 1st half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys.
They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, their defense got them the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brand, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We've got 2, we got 2. Do I hear 3? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused. I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. And he finds Tyler Kroft. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. On is Jake Bailey to send this one away. Back deep, Marquez Callaway. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 21. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And he'll be down close to the first down marker as he gets this to the Broncos' 18-yard line. Hands it off out of the gun. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Let's go.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill on the touchdown pass from Tua. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes our score 17-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field.
For this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Offense.
Quinn Miners, third-round pick in 2021, called for the penalty. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Wilson to throw. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down.
Got a man. It's Judy complete. And he will have the Broncos first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
But this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Baron Browning, the one who brought him down. 2nd and 10.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Oh, he's got some breathing room. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Sanders on for the extra point. And he pushed it right. It's no good. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This fielded right at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse it. This is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score it here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. The run on 3rd and long, so I guess waving the white flag a little bit.
Yeah, and I think sometimes teams are so committed to running the football that they'll take a chance, even in a long yardage situation, to let them know on the other side, this is what we're going to be about today. In this case, they didn't get a first down, but if you're thinking along with them, hey, they might be committed to running it all game long.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And going deep for Hill. And this is taken in at the 5. A big play there just before halftime. And even 50 yards. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Play action. Now it's Tua. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle in the final seconds of the first half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime. Mike McDaniel, no hesitation on his end. He's telling his offense to go for 2. Tua, the final shot before half. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense. Right?
That's true. You've said that before. So the 2 teams will head to the locker rooms here.
All right, so we skip the rest of halftime and get set for the 3rd quarter.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this 2nd half as they trail, and we are back underway.
And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Bronco offense ready to begin this 3rd quarter play. The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the 2nd half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Throw to the right, caught by Dulcich.
Touchdown, Broncos.
Greg Dulcich.
A 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Broncos come right out of the locker room and score. minute of the third quarter. Chris Nagar now for the extra point.
And that'll cut the lead down to 22. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone.
Taken in at the 3.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can...
That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for Miami. 51 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. Touchdown, Dolphins!
Tyreek Hill on the touchdown pass from Tua. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
So now the Dolphin offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2.
The Tua going to try and throw for it.
And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This one taken just inside the 10.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Big Raekwon Davis, the man fighting in for that sack.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Now left side on the swing pass. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he's got room. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away.
From the 6. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. Throwing is Wilson. He'll get this one to Patrick.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. A lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the third quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
Again, Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today.
Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Dolphins will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. After the turnover, it's Tua.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Third quarter from Miami. This is 2nd and 10.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown. A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Dolphins get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Denver's offense now set to go. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
On first down, Wilson. He completes this to Sutton.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Wilson finding the open man, and that's Tim.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't it?
I think he knew.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey.
And the Dolphins are going to have it here. is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And this Bronco defense really selling out to stop the run, and it pays off. They get him behind the line twice in a row. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And some space here. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Now Waddle on the jet sweep.
And some room to work. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow.
Back now in Miami. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Okay, right.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Touchdown, Dolphins! Tyreek Hill on the touchdown pass from Tua. And the Dolphins add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. The Broncos are about set to go on offense. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now Wilson. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, 64 yards. And the Broncos get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. An extra point by Nagar is up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And they're going to speed things up here.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. 60 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 43. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. They'll roll him out right. And Tua going to slide to a halt, but he will have the 1st down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
They'll run right side with Mostert.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll try and run here with Mostert. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
The kick by Sanders is good. And the Dolphins will add onto their lead.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now Wilson on 1st down.
That's going to be caught by...
That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
This will be caught. Judy. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins 21. Play action. It's Wilson. Steps away.
He's got Dulcich going across the formation.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it. And Williams is in for a Bronco touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Broncos are able to at least get one score back. Wilson going to throw for it. That's caught. And he is not going to make it to the end zone. And that's pretty reflective of their game as a whole, as they'll remain down by a bundle. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around... conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head, because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade is going to happen, but good thought. This offense so far on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5, and able to connect with Berrios. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A Miami first down and a 14-yard pickup.
I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are. And let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
And some room to run now. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami.
Once again, it's Mostert.
And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
On second down, Mostert. 97 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
A run with Mostert up the middle.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Now 2nd and 5. Snap will come from the 6.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, they just continue to roll. And Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry a rhythm from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Waddle now to return it.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
They'll start on the ground with Mostert.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
On 3rd down, here comes Mostert.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.